Welcome back to Dinar Community Channel. The wait is almost over. Banks are lighting up, rates are flashing behind the scenes, and insiders say the global revaluation is no longer a rumor, it's a countdown. July 2025 may be the month the world's wealth map is redrawn forever. Are you ready? The clock is ticking, and July 2025 has ignited a storm of anticipation, speculation, and cautious optimism in the global currency revaluation (RV) community. With reports swirling from various corners of the financial world, currency holders of the Iraqi Dinar (IQD), Vietnamese Dong (VND), and Zimbabwean Dollar (ZWL) are more alert than ever. It's not just about hope anymore. It's about reading the signals, understanding global financial shifts, and preparing for a potentially historic economic reset. In the past decade, the concept of a currency revaluation has moved from fringe discussions to the core of many financial circles. What was once dismissed as pure speculation is now being dissected by economists, analysts, and even private banking insiders. July 2025, in particular, has seen momentum build with a ferocity rarely seen before. But how close are we really? To answer that, we need to examine the events of the past few months that have brought us to this point, where a real-time countdown to the RV no longer feels like wishful thinking, but a measured reality based on unfolding developments. Let's start with Iraq. The most significant driver of this revaluation conversation has always been the Iraqi dinar. For years, Iraq has operated under a program rate established by the Central Bank of Iraq (CBI), influenced by decades of conflict, economic instability, and international oversight. But in 2025, Iraq has turned a corner. Prime Minister Mohammed Shia al-Sudani has made it clear, both in national addresses and through official channels, that Iraq's economic sovereignty is non-negotiable. Multiple statements from his office since May 2025 emphasized that Iraq is moving forward with full currency reform, monetary independence, and oil-based economic leverage. On June 9, 2025, a tremor was felt across the RV community when unofficial reports began leaking about a confirmed rate adjustment within select international banking systems. While not publicly confirmed by the CBI at the time, several private currency holders reported seeing temporary rate flashes between $3.77 and $4.56 for the IQD, triggering speculation of a stealth release or test run through tiered platforms. The International Monetary Fund (IMF), which had been unusually quiet about Iraq for the past year, suddenly reappeared in global media, issuing statements about emerging market transitions and praising Iraq for advancing fiscal stabilization mechanisms. All of this has taken place alongside an unprecedented rise in banking infrastructure activity. Wells Fargo, Chase, Bank of America, and even regional banks like KeyBank and TD have been reported to have hosted internal meetings discussing the readiness of their foreign exchange desks. Bank employees, many under non-disclosure agreements, have leaked fragments suggesting live rates are visible in private terminals but not yet available for retail exchange. Then came the system outages. Beginning in late June and accelerating into early July, a wave of mysterious banking outages hit the U.S. and other financial centers. These weren't isolated glitches. They affected online banking platforms, foreign exchange portals, and real-time transaction processors. The official explanation: scheduled maintenance and cybersecurity upgrades. But within the RV community, the consensus was clear: these were preemptive moves to insulate digital infrastructure in preparation for a major financial event. Further fueling the countdown theory was the coordinated blackout of international SWIFT messaging traffic involving specific foreign currencies. Analysts began noticing patterns where large batch transactions involving the IQD and VND were being delayed, rerouted, or quietly settled through secondary systems. If this sounds like smoke and mirrors, it's because that's how major monetary shifts have always occurred, under layers of deniability until full public activation. Adding to the sense of urgency was the open confirmation by the Iraqi government on July 1 that all previous restrictions on IQD international movement had been lifted. For years, currency holders faced intense scrutiny, limited mobility, and outright bans on cross-border transactions involving dinar. That's no longer the case. The CBI now allows direct international IQD transactions with aligned financial partners under new fiscal transparency standards. Private exchange activity has also skyrocketed. Reports across social media and verified insider communities point to a rapid increase in private Tier 3 and Tier 4 exchanges being quietly executed. These transactions appear to be contract-based, pre-negotiated, and occurring within a controlled environment. While public walk-in exchanges are still restricted, this structured rollout hints at a phased RV implementation, prioritizing large volume holders first while establishing stability before a broader release. Vietnam has mirrored much of this activity. The Vietnamese Dong has long been considered a sleeper in the RV world. While it lacks the oil-backed muscle of the dinar, Vietnam's rapidly growing manufacturing sector, trade relationships with the BRICS alliance, and internal economic reforms have set the stage for a revaluation. On June 9, the same day whispers of the dinar RV surfaced, unofficial reports claimed the dong had jumped to 47 cents in select Asian financial markets. Confirmation remains elusive, but multiple holders in the U.S. reported private banking offers in that range, suggesting either a pilot test or soft rollout. Perhaps the most telling sign of how close we truly are to a full RV event lies in the behavior of the central banks themselves. Over the last 60 days, the Federal Reserve, European Central Bank (ECB), and the CBI have all moved into alignment on currency reconciliation protocols. These actions are technical but critical. They involve the recalibration of reserve asset categories, foreign holdings, and cross-asset liquidation rules. Simply put, you don't change the rulebook unless you're about to play a new game. Even the World Bank has quietly shifted tone. In a closed-door briefing on July 3, senior economists referred to emerging valuation adjustments for underweighted currencies and stressed that upcoming fiscal quarters would be marked by unprecedented sovereign rate realignments. For those paying attention, that's code for revaluation, without saying the word. Now, as we enter the second week of July 2025, real-time countdown apps, community trackers, and specialized revaluation calendars are buzzing with activity. These tools, once mocked, are now being taken more seriously, especially as more and more scheduled events are lining up with behind-the-scenes chatter. Here's what's been confirmed or strongly suspected so far. July 9 to 13, high alert period for currency rate fluctuations. Multiple sources indicate live testing of the new rate environment during this window, particularly across Tier 1 and Tier 2 banking networks. July 14, potential activation date for structured public exchanges, contingent on final system readiness checks and international coordination. July 15 to 21, expected release of educational materials, public guidelines, and government statements confirming the revaluation. Legal teams have reportedly drafted guidance for banks, currency holders, and media outlets to control the narrative. There's also speculation about an international press conference, possibly held under the G20 or IMF umbrella, that will present the RV not as a standalone event but as part of a broader financial modernization plan. This, Global Reset 2.0, narrative has gained traction in diplomatic circles, where economic transparency and digital currency integration are now priorities. Despite all this momentum, caution remains critical. Scammers, fake redemption centers, and misinformation campaigns are on the rise. Official agencies have urged all currency holders to verify sources, avoid rushed decisions, and stay clear of anyone promising early access in exchange for personal details or upfront payments. So, where does this leave us? The evidence is overwhelming. We are not in the early stages of a hypothetical event, we are in the final phase of execution. The countdown is no longer a metaphor. From system reboots to rate flashes, from government confirmations to private bank activity, every major indicator points to a full-scale revaluation now being days, if not hours, away from public recognition. It's been a long road. Years of doubt, frustration, and waiting have tested the patience of the global RV community. But July 2025 may finally deliver what so many have prepared for. The transformation of global financial systems, long theorized and dismissed by mainstream voices, is now unfolding in real time. The dinar is no longer just a speculative play, it's becoming a remonetized instrument of national and international value. In the coming days, what matters most is clarity, composure, and action based on verified information. Currency holders should ensure their documentation is in order, monitor official banking platforms, and avoid speculative chaos. The time for guessing is over. We are now in the execution window. As the world watches, and as history writes this moment into the future of finance, one question remains at the forefront of everyone's mind. How close are we, really? If current events are any indication, the answer is simple, closer than ever before. Like and subscribe for more videos.